Burchin, that was great. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And welcome now to our CHRO to CHRO segment here with Elina Petrillo from Northwell Health and Harry Osle from the Hackett Group. How are you both doing?
Doing fantastic.
Energized.
Well, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining Oracle TV. I'm going to start it off easy here.
All right.
First and foremost, can you tell us a bit about your business? Elina, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I work for Northwell Health. It's the largest employer in New York State. We provide healthcare services, mostly in New York. And I always tell people, if you want to learn more about Northwell Health, just watch Netflix Emergency NYC.
Okay, love it. I love that plug. Harry, tell us about the Hackett Group.
Oh, we're an intellectual property-centric consulting company across finance, HR, payroll, procurement. Consider us great fitness coaches for companies. That's what we do. We figure out what you're trying to accomplish, we help you get there.
Wow, it looks like we have some stuff in common there. I love that. Yeah. Okay, so as Fritz has explained earlier, what we're doing here is I'm really just going to toss up a topic for you guys to discuss, and then I'm going to let you talk it out, and then I'll bring up another topic after that. That's this Fly on the Wall series. So for starters, what are the top 2 to 3 things on the top of your minds right now? We'll start with you, Elina.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at today's economy, labor cost, labor optimization is one of the top priorities, especially in healthcare sector, non-for-profit. And then as HR organization, we're trying to think about how do we serve our customers better, how do we keep our employees engaged, and how do we have them recognized, how do we promote wellness, but we also serve our customers within the health system, HR for HR, and our business leaders. So where do we bring in automation, efficiencies? That's really important for us right now.
Yeah, we're hearing that across all industries. Harry, top 2 to 3 things.
To us, it's all about, as a consultancy organization, a consulting organization, it's all about skills. Understanding the skills needed of our employees to better serve our clients. And understanding what skills, how to develop those skills, what skills our associates currently have, how to develop them, whether that's required training or training that they can do on their off time. To us, it's very important to make sure that our employees are constantly skilled up to meet the demands of the client base on a consistent basis.
Okay, so I'm hearing, labor costs, labor optimization, automation. I'm hearing how to level up in skills.
Yep.
Is there still a war for talent right now? And hiring has supposedly cooled, but that doesn't make it easy. It doesn't seem to be getting easier. What's going on there?
I would say, I don't know about Alina's industry, but our industry, there's still a war on talent. And that war on talent has to do with, we typically hire very experienced professionals. So to us, the war on talent is finding the right individual with the right skill set. I go back to the skill sets. And then the right temperament. In the consulting industry has changed over the last couple of years. That kind of leaving on a Sunday, coming back on a Thursday, doing project work, doesn't exist as much. So there's a little bit of a combination of remote working and then being able to deliver on premises with a client. So that skill and that need is very, very important, and that the development of that skill and need is consistently important. There's still a war on talent in our industry. It's not as hot as it was, I would say, 18 months ago, but there's still a war on talent, to answer your question specifically.
Elina, what about you?
I'm going to say that in 21, we definitely saw a record high number of open requisitions. We definitely saw big burnout with healthcare workers. So now, and high turnover rates. So I think now we're a little bit more stabilized, but I will say that there are 2 factors that continue to drive where employers need to think about how to retain talent and how to bring new talent into organization. And number 1, candidates expecting a really good experience. And number 2 is there are still clinical professions that there is not enough pipeline. So we're working a lot on workforce readiness. starting from high school, trying to educate high school students about all kinds of professions in healthcare,
right.
lab, nursing, physician, trying to engage them from being in high school before they go to college, because just not enough clinicians that coming out of schools.
Yeah. And we're hoping, obviously, to change that and hopefully account for that, right, with some more automation. And speaking of, generative AI is the name of the game here at CloudWorld and honestly everywhere.
Everywhere.
So how are you thinking about applying generative AI to your operations? Harry, we'll start with you.
I think generative AI, first and foremost, for all HR professionals, not only in specifically for us, it's how do you utilize it to help retool your organization. There is no question that across the globe, HR functions are doing more with less. Our studies show it on a consistent basis. If you're doing more with less, then generative AI is a great tool to help drive efficiencies, process automation, things that you do on a consistent basis. Take talent acquisition, take policy deployment, take answering basic questions. Generative AI is a great tool to be able to drive those efficiencies. Now, like with any technology, it's how you implement that technology in a way that has the greatest impact. So to me, it's okay, let's learn from this generative AI, great tool,
right.
Phenomenal tool. You guys are doing a wonderful job in the marketplace. It's how do we leverage that technology in a way that serves us in a way that we can then drive greater efficiency without having to add more people on a consistent basis.
Right.
Driving that consistent efficiency. We're all about helping our clients drive continuous improvement. We're about driving continuous improvement.
Elina, would you add to that?
Yeah, I'm going to say two things. We're definitely embracing it, but we're looking at this very carefully from security perspective, make sure that it's ethical. But at the end of the day, we're right now in the midst of implementation of Oracle Digital Assistant, and one of the most important things that we're looking at, what value are we going to bring to our frontline workers?
Right.
And we are going to provide them with 24/7 service that they didn't have before. We're going to give them the right answers. The interaction is going to have a nice experience. But we're also looking to make sure that, number one, that interaction has humanistic feeling. And number two, that the data that you get and the answers that you get are accurate and transparent.
All right, I can't believe it. Our time here is, or I could keep talking about this forever. I do want to end on one last thing. I'm going to give you a rapid fire.
Okay.
The most misunderstood element of HR in one word.
One word.
Okay, you can use 3 words.
We serve 2 constituents.
Oh,
Employees and a business. The only function that does that.
okay.
That's the most misunderstood part.
Wow. 2 constituents, yep.
I'm going to say probably agile priority, right? So we drive organizational culture. And so what's the top priority for organizational culture? And then how do you take this and actually make this actionable? Maybe in an agile way, by clearly identifying what's the focus and priorities, going back to our mission. I think HR is the biggest driver on that.
Amazing. Well, this was, again, super insightful. I really, really appreciate you both taking the time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of CloudWorld.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now I am hearing that Brendan is hanging out with SailGP. Brendan, what's going on there? Taking on the high seas?